What is good, everybody? This is your guy Manny, and this is Talking Commanders with Manny. Today, got a special guest for you guys. I got my guy Rich. I'm going to be bringing him up in just a minute. So this episode right here, we're going to focus on what are the Commanders going to do in this offseason. We got my guy Rich in the building, man. What's good, brother?
My boy, what up?
Not much, man. Can you hear like the background music?
Yeah.
Is it cool?
No, yeah, that's fine. That's
all
good.
Right, cool. I wanted to try something different, something new. So we got the background music in the background. We got my guy Meest in the building, man. What's good? Appreciate you hopping on the stream. So this is actually a live stream. So I just went on and just got started. So like I said, man, on this episode, we got to talk, what are the Commanders going to do in the offseason, right? We have quarterback issues, right? We have O-line issues, cornerback issues, a lot of issues, man. This might just be the Commanders issues episode. All right. So let's just go ahead and start with the quarterback. Oh man, we got my boy Phil in the building. So with the quarterback, are you for let's go with Sam Howell, or are you looking at a quarterback in this draft?
So I like Sam. I think that he wasn't given a fair chance to actually, show his talents this season. Yeah, I mean, obviously we was rocking with Wentz. Then we had Four as the backup.
Yep.
I love Four. I love him. I don't love him to play 17 games, right, but I love him.
Right.
But it's tricky, man, because I don't know if we should get somebody in the draft. We should go I like Carr, but can he get us over that hump? We need a playoff win, bro. That's what we need. And I'm getting tired of us 1-4, going a 5-6 game win streak.
Yep.
Then December, we forget how to play football.
Every year.
We just forget how to play football, man. And I'm not. And it sucks because, we start low.
Right.
The win streak happened. We we top 12, 15 in the league.
Right.
Then.
But you know what, though? My thing is it the quarterback or the personnel issue, or was it a Ron Rivera issue? Check this out. Ron Rivera year one, right? We mess around and win this trash division, 7-8, NFC East champions, whatever. I wasn't excited. I mean, I was happy to be in the playoffs, but it was like, whatever, right? Taylor Heineke gave us some excitement, and some of us, including me, was talking, oh, Taylor Heineke might be a franchise quarterback. I mean, because look, it was bad. When you see Dwayne Haskins play football, that wasn't football. And then when you see Taylor Heineke, who was just enough to just kind of give us average quarterback play against Tampa Bay, that was a nice game.
But mind you, listen, I always tell people on that run, we played, that was the hardest game that they had to the Super Bowl. Now, give or take, do you think, in all honesty, I think if we had a quarterback, we win that game.
Facts.
Then who knows? It's always them what if scenarios, but we definitely played them the hardest on their road to the Super Bowl.
Okay, I got a statement for you. My guy Phil says, give Sam Howell a shot, sign Brissett, Andy Dalton, or Jimmy G. I'm going to let you talk about this, and then I'm going to talk right after you talk.
So as fans, bro, we feeling the hype right now. We saw what he did against Dallas. His first pass was for a tug. So that's what you feel me? We think about the deep shot to Terry. We thinking about that.
Right.
But if Sam Howell go out week 1 and, 2 picks, a tug, 212 to 220 in the air, then what we going to do? I like Dalton. I like Jimmy G. Those is game managers. Those is people that, can keep us in the game. But do we trust them to bring us back? Do we trust them on a game-winning drive? Brissett, nah, I ain't rocking with him. But Andy, he said, not me. I saw him at Carolina. I know. I'm not. Yo, Sam, I'm not knocking him. I think he deserves a chance. Right. But I'm just saying, as fans, I know how this is going to go.
Right.
Week 1, if he stink, we gonna be calling somebody else. We tired of the bad quarterback play, man. We're tired of it. Like, I want to September. I'm trying to see at best 3-1,
right,
2-2, not 1-3.
And
well, go ahead.
And that's a great point, because for the Commanders, we start out slow and we end terribly. We always have that run in the middle, and I hate that. Or we're trying to run the tables. The last 2 to 3 times we made the playoffs, we have to run the tables. We have to be nearly perfect, and it's stressful. It's stressful. Had a lot of hair. The hair is gone. Thanks to the Commanders, and stressing over, are we going to get a win? Are we going to get a win? I mean, you literally have to play perfect football just to kind of generate some stuff. I mean, we have to start off strong. Look at the Giants. The Giants realistically were not a good team this year. They weren't a good team, but guess what? They started out strong to where at the end it fizzled out to where they almost missed the playoffs. But because they started strong, it just didn't even matter. They had enough wins at the beginning to kind of propel them to the playoffs when things got tough in November, December. Mm-hmm. Now, here's my thing. If we are bringing in a Brissett, that's perfect. Let him compete with Sam Howell. If Sam Howell cannot beat out a Brissett, then oh well. Sam Howell and Andy Dalton, same boat. If you get Jimmy G is coming here to be a starting quarterback. Mm-hmm. Jimmy G is not going to go take a job to where obviously you have to compete. Nothing is handed to anybody, but Jimmy G is going to go somewhere where he knows he can start. He feels he's a starter. This is a guy that potentially could have gone to the Super Bowl again this year had he stayed healthy. He's been to the NFC championship game. Had he gone this year, it would have been like what? 3 times in the last 4 years. Mm-hmm. So Jimmy G is looking for a team, possibly the Jets, to where he can go compete and be a playoff team. Now, we are a quarterback away. If we had a legit quarterback right now with the roster we have right now, I feel like that sets us up to be a playoff contender. But besides the quarterback issue, let's go ahead and dive into the next issue. The offensive line is terrible. We brought in guys like Norwell and Trey Turner and all these bums and bum after bum, or you have a center that hasn't played in 2 years, and then you bring in the backup center, he gets hurt. You bring in the guard in Wes Schweitzer, who's a right guard, swing guard. Then he's playing center. Then he goes down. Now you bring in Nick Martin, the worst of all centers. The worst center of all time, and then now you have a center problem. I've been saying this for the last 2 to 3 years. The Commanders need to draft a center. They had not Sadiq Charles. No,
the LSU boy. He was a left tackle.
Not the LSU boy. There was a guy that we drafted as a center, and he just didn't make the team recently. I forgot his name. It's gonna come to me, but the fact of the matter is, like Phil says, is we need to draft a line, or we need to sign somebody. Literally, you have to go get these guys. I have heard of John Michael Schmidt. John Michael Schmidt. That's funny, but yeah, we need a center, we need a guard, we need a tackle. What is your plan? What do you feel is the most important piece that we need to add? Is it tackle, guard, or center in this draft? Keith Ishmael, that's who it was.
Yeah. The number 60. He was a bum. He ain't never played.
It was terrible, man.
Yo, all right. So, I mean, this is about a lot of people want Leno gone. Mm-hmm. I rock with Leno. Leno has his moments. So, why not rock with how he's rejected no more people? All right, hold on. We gonna get back to
that. Just keep going. I'm gonna just be tossing things on the
pie guard. Like, yo, in all honesty, we should have worked something out with Sheriff. Mm-hmm. We should have just kept him, and then just fill in the other guard, the other tackle, and the center just been bad to us. Mm-hmm. But yeah, probably pie guard.
But here's my thing. Even if you don't keep Sheriff, you keep Eric Flowers. I thought Eric Flowers was okay. Mm-hmm. There was no problem with Eric Flowers. Like, you're trying to prove a point. You're trying to save money. You're trying to go to the bargain bin. You're trying to go to the Dollar General. You can't have Dollar General type players all the time. Sometimes
not on the line.
Spin.
Not on the line.
So he felt like, hey, these are guys that I've worked with before. They still have a lot in the tank. Sometimes he's made some good signings, but these signings don't last forever. Like J.D. McKissick was a nice one. Logan Thomas was a nice one for a point in time, you know. So he felt maybe one of these guys was going to hit, and neither one hit. You should have kept Eric Flowers, and you should have let go of Sheriff if you wanted to conserve money.
Quick question. How bad did it hurt when we let Trent go?
Hurt bad. It hurt bad.
Tough, man.
It hurt bad, and the thing is we needed money to pay elsewhere. So I don't look at it like, okay, we lost Trent. Yes, that hurt. But we were able to pay a Jonathan Allen, right? Mm-hmm. We're going to be able to pay a Deron Payne. We're going to figure that out. We have to figure that out. Look, I don't care about we are investing too much in the line. Mm-hmm. I don't care about that. You invest in the homegrown talent. Mm-hmm. And we've learned our lesson from letting guys like Trent go and letting guys like Sheriff go. You got to give these guys another contract. Right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then it's going to be between Chase Young and Montez Sweat to figure something out. That's a conversation that people are not ready for. If you're saying, go ahead.
Something real quick. Mm-hmm. Is this Chase make or break year?
It could be. Like, my whole thing is we have Chase for at least that 5th-year option. After that 5th-year option, whatever that happens. And I'm okay with it. If it doesn't work out, then he's gone.
I'm putting Chase on notice. Chase got to have 15 sacks next year. You the number 2 pick.
What if he's getting the pressure to allow other guys to get?
All right. Good point. He don't. But I need to see that dog. I need to see that dog. He's a dog. Mm-hmm. And you know, like his sack numbers for his second year, like before he got injured, but he only had like that 1.5 sack, and I think that came against the Saints when he had the forced fumble. Mm-hmm. But prior to that, people was talking about some Chase looked like a bum, but they don't watch tape. They wasn't really tuned into the game. Yeah, 15.
No, look, I feel you on the sack numbers. Like, we definitely got to see some kind of production, because if a guy like Montez Sweat is out here balling, right, getting his usual 7 to 9 sacks a year, it might not be what we want. We possibly want more, but you almost got to pay the guy that's more productive than the guy that's just there and just has the name. So I see a scenario where they're going to let these guys figure it out. So I think this year is the 5th-year option for Montez Sweat, if I'm not mistaken, because he's been in the league for at least 4 years.
I think, he's that's 19. That's our 2019 draft pick, right? Should be.
So you know, hey, 5th-year option. We worry about Montez's contract next summer, but for this summer, you go ahead and sign Deron Payne. You keep this line together as long as possible.
As you can.
After the 5th year, you might as well just end up doing like a franchise tag on Montez if you want to keep him that 1 extra year. But we got to see something from Chase Young this year and definitely next year. You know,
I need him to play all 17.
Yeah, hey. That's it. That's it.
We not 9. We not 10. We need 17, Mr. Young.
Yeah, he says double-digit sacks and plenty pressures.
That's fine. We'll we good with that.
Yeah.
And now you wanted to talk about the skill positions too, right?
Yep. Oh yeah. Start it off.
We got 3 dogs out wide.
Yep.
We need to keep them. Terry top 10.
Yep.
I debate this all the time with people. Terry top 10. Mm-hmm. No question about it.
Now, let me ask.
Oh, now go ahead.
Okay, now let me ask you something. Yes, we have 3 really good wide receivers, and I love all 3. But here's my problem.
Oh man.
Let's say if we need to find money somewhere,
Curtis
Samuel, you see what I'm saying? Curtis Samuel is the guy to go if we go that route. I would love to keep the 3 of them as long as possible, but we always know that financial considerations, and you got to pay different guys. Curtis becomes expendable if you can get a guy in this year's draft later, from the 4th to 5th round, 6th round, you know, even an undrafted guy. Mm-hmm. Wait, I'm going somewhere with this. De'Ami Brown takes a step, especially if you have Sam Howell. You move De'Ami Brown to the outside. You can move Jahan or Terry on the inside. That's what I'm saying. If we need money to, let's say,
I mean, that's a perfect scenario. I think De'Ami is more outside.
Yep.
We go our 3 wide set will be him outside, Terry outside, Jahan in the slot because he's shifty.
Jahan is a dog.
Listen, he's shifty. He could catch that thing.
He's him.
Mind you, I went to both Giants games this year.
Okay.
So I seen the post route when he caught in the end zone. Then I seen the little the drag route across the middle when he hit the spin move. I'm like,
yeah.
And he liked the end zone. Yeah. We need people like that. Terry needs to like the end zone a little bit more.
And that's a conversation folks ain't ready for. As much as I love Terry and as much as you say Terry's top 10, my whole thing with Terry is that sometimes he seems to be allergic from the end zone. But you know what though? With the bad quarterback play, I would kind of like say, you know what? I won't be too hard on Terry. Let's see if we can get an upgraded quarterback play. And let's see what Terry does. But my whole thing is come on. Jahan is doing it with the same quarterbacks. But then it's like, well, Jahan is playing that secondary role, that third role, where Terry is being guarded by the best corner most times. So it's kind of like, but I have seen Terry make some clutch catches this year to win us games. So it kind of goes back and forth.
When he went up on Gilmore, boy.
Yep. Yep. Alexander from Green Bay. I mean, he went up against some of the best corners. Oh, Slay is his son.
Oh yeah. I wish he would have gotten the end zone that night though.
Yeah.
Because he was balling.
Yeah. So I think next year I want to see Terry get over 7 touchdowns. I just need to see that. Terry does so much more for the team. He's one of the faces of the franchise, even with the low touchdown numbers. He's just that guy. Terry's him. Jahan Dotson, he's a dog. I love Curtis Samuel, but I want to get a quarterback that can unlock Curtis. I believe that Curtis was not used properly. I hated him being a running back. Just play the slot. Play the slot. Get open. Get the ball in your hands and just do your thing. That's what I wanted to see out of Curtis.
But mind you, that's all 3 of them can do that. Just get them the pill. But get it like I feel you with the whole like the little jet sweeps and stuff with Curtis.
Man. I was like this each time praying because we know we're not saying that he's injury prone, but he did miss a whole season. You feel me? So
that was in the way last year. I wanted to get rid of him last year. But then it's crazy because I wanted to get rid of him last year, but I always had that, always just kept thinking. Remember the COVID year when we played the Panthers?
Yep.
And he killed us. And all them touches he was getting. I'm like, damn, he just need the ball. But
all right, so I'm about to transition to what can we possibly do with the offensive coordinator that's going to be coming to DC. I really don't have a preference on who we get. I just want us to get the right guy, not the wrong guy, to get the right guy to kind of unlock the offense, kind of open up the playbook, throw some balls deep, like mix it up. Like it would be nice to get a younger guy to kind of do some of the things that the NFL is doing nowadays. But I really don't know who I want here in DC. All I want is just somebody that can come in and can this team just please score more than 18 points a game? Just an offense that can score about 25 to 27 points a game.
And that's not even asking for much though.
It's not asking for much.
That's the crazy thing. It really doesn't matter. Like I'm kind of in the same boat as you for like who comes and stuff like that. But we have skill. Like it's not like we don't have players. You feel me?
Yeah.
We interviewed with him last week. Like it's not like we got and the thing is we got backs low key.
We got backs. Cool, but I got a crazy scenario for you. Now, a lot of people that listen to the pod might stop listening to my pod after I make this statement. Now, I know we don't need a running back, but
who you want to get rid of?
If Bijan Robinson is sitting there at 16, do you go and get a Bijan Robinson and get that Saquon Barkley, Alvin Kamara, that kind of special elite running back that I have not seen since Stephen Davis, Clinton Portis? I've been a fan since 1999, and those are the best the Commanders have had to offer.
You ain't like Alfred?
Alfred is the third. So that's the Stephen Davis.
You just want to order the back.
So for me, it was Stephen Davis, then it was Clinton Portis, and then last but not least, it was Alfred Morris. Those are the best running backs that I have seen on this squad since 1999. Now, if you get a Bijan Robinson, feel right now is he's pissed off, he's mad, he's probably going to cancel my pod, but it's okay. If you get a Bijan Robinson, it unlocks everything. Here's a guy that if he does what he's supposed to do, this is a guy that for seasons to come, 1,600 yards, and especially if you're going the Sam Howell route, right? Having a Bijan Robinson there to kind of shoulder some of this offense would be amazing. And then you don't have to cut Antonio Gibson. You can use him as a secondary wide receiver. You can use him more so in special teams, punt return, kickoff return, still use him in the passing game, change the pace guy. Then you still have B-Rob, Robinson and Robinson. That's just a crazy fantasy. Obviously, it's not going to happen. But your thoughts on that?
I ain't going to crush your dream. I ain't trying to crush your dreams with that. But the two that we got on the roster right now, the Rook and Gibby. Gibby ain't unlocked his potential yet, man. I think that I honestly believe he's a home run hitter. Okay. Now, maybe not the same impact as Zaquan, because I always say like watching Zaquan when he touched the rock, he could score at any time.
Yep.
So I don't think Gibby has that yet. I also think that he's still transitioning from that wide receiver to running back phase. You can see it. He's definitely a better running back now than when we first got him.
Right.
Like he was just off of pure talent that year. Then he got 1,000 last year.
Right.
And then this year, B-Rob kind of took over that starting role. But
now let me flip it on you. So you say Gibson had the talent when we first got him, and I'm gonna kind of take what Meese is saying. Meese said he would take that Gibby has been inconsistent. This is why I say what I say. If you look at the year when we got Antonio Gibson, there was nobody else behind him to challenge him as a running back. Therefore, he was there getting a lot of volume, and he ended up having nice numbers in year one and some nice numbers in year two. In year three, you insert a Brian Robinson, the beast. He comes in, he's a pure running back that can do a lot of different things that Gibson couldn't do because he's still transitioning, he's still learning. And then I have a rule. Every 2 years you draft a running back. You do not invest in paying running backs unless it's an elite guy like a Christian McCaffrey or a Kamara, one of those kinds of guys. And even when you do pay those kinds of guys, they don't last forever, right?
Because of the touches.
It's good to invest in these guys as draft picks, which is why I'm not opposed to getting the Bijan Robinson, but I still have a rule. You don't draft running backs in the first round. So don't listen to me by saying, hey, get Bijan Robinson. No, getting running backs in the first round is not a good move for several different reasons. You can find these kinds of guys later on in the second, third, fourth, fifth, seventh round, undrafted. Eckler was undrafted. So you just continue to have that pipeline. And I guarantee you this, when it's time to pay Antonio Gibson, he may not get a contract from us when his contract is up in DC. He may not. I think he'll definitely get paid. So I think he'll get he ain't gonna get like top 10 running back money. He might get paid, but it might not be.
I like his skill set though, man. Like and the play that is one play that I always go back to, and that really showed his potential. And it's when we played the Bills and he took that screen pass 7-3. I'm like, yo, listen, he could do this.
My whole thing is outside of that, I haven't seen much of that. Even the game versus Dallas when he had 3 touchdowns.
3 touchdowns.
That's the Gibson I want, and we need to find an offensive coordinator that can unlock that. But on the flip side, with us benching Gibson and lowering his role, reducing his role, does that affect his confidence? That's another thing.
Of course.
That's another thing. So, with the whole fumbling issues and this and that, I love Gibson. Don't get into it. I love Gibson, but we'll see if he gets a contract. Hey, I would love for him to be here as long as he's effective and productive and things of that nature.
So how you feel about B-Rob?
I love him. But at the same time, as of right now, today is the 3rd of February at 5:28 p.m. Central Time. As of today, I don't think that Brian Robinson Jr. is a franchise running back. As of today, that can change. Okay. That can change.
So if you get 25 to 28 carries, I need 130.
Thank you.
25 to 28 carries. You get under 100, they ain't flying with me.
Yeah, and part of that you can say offensive line. He's the kind of guy that needs an offensive line. Now, if you have a guy like Saquon, Bijan, and some of these other guys that are like more special, more shifty, more talented, they might not need a supreme offensive line like a guy like B-Rob. Now, you give B-Rob an offensive line, he's going to do damage. He's going to get you 4 yards, 5 yards, 4 yards, 5 yards. But the thing is, he needs volume to get that 130. But he's going to be effective. He's going to be a 1,000 back here and there. In goal line back, he's a different kind of skill set. He's not a breakaway guy. He's a consistent, grinded out in the fourth quarter kind of running back.
He like 2 to 5 yards a pop. Like he'll tire you out.
Yep.
Like fourth quarter, you'll be like, damn, I still got to tackle.
Yep.
Like that's that. Like, and back to the original question. Like what? I want to see the offense. Obviously, we keep saying that we want to be a run first team and this. They ain't flying today, man. Unless you have that quarterback.
Yeah. With the personnel we have, why are we a run first offense? Like we have these guys, these talented guys on the outside, or receivers. Now we do need a tight end. Now talking about guys that I feel might not be back possibly next year. I think
Logan got to go.
Is gone.
You like Bates? I like Bates. I like Turner. Bates is more of a blocker though.
Yeah.
He'll get physical with you.
That's the thing. Like in terms of tight ends, we have some solid guys. Like Bates is a blocker, he's capable catcher. But this tight end group, they scare nobody. Like in terms of being threats on offense and catching the ball, they scared no one. Like when Logan Thomas was the leader of that group last year, I was telling people, man, this group, I'm not excited about this group. Folks told me about how great Cole Turner is going to be. I like his potential, his upside, his size, but
he tall. He's like 6'7".
You know, and then I like Armani Rogers, but at the end of the day, we cannot overvalue these guys. Some of these guys are Jags, just another guy. Respectfully speaking, I'm not saying these are bad guys. Sometimes these are compliments. These compliments, just like I think that Brian Robinson Jr. is better as a compliment. Just imagine if you got a guy that's better than Brian Robinson Jr. and he's complimenting that guy. Wow. Or maybe Antonio Gibson can step his game up. But Gibson and Robinson together, I love the duo. But in terms of the tight end group, man, something has to pop, man. Something like go get a Mike Gesicki, draft a guy, Hayden Hurst or something, Hayden Hurst, somebody, Evan Ingram. There's going to be some free agents. You have to improve this tight end room. I don't like it as a whole. We need something, man.
I wish Jordan Reed would have stayed healthy, man.
Yeah, Jordan Reed was I think he was the best tight end that I've seen in DC. And wow, I've been a fan. The next guy,
Chris, I think skill-wise,
Chris Cooley. Yeah, Chris Cooley. Yeah. Jordan Reed. Then it was Chris Cooley. Believe it or not, Vernon Davis was right there. As old as he was, Vernon Davis gave us breakaway speed. He gave us some plays.
I remember the Eagles game. He won when he
Hey, he was a bad boy.
Yeah.
I mean, look, it's awesome to kind of go back at times and kind of look at who we've had. But what is your plan in the draft? Like, what would you like to see in the first 3 rounds?
All right, so I'm big on the corner thing.
Okay.
I think we definitely. So I'm not Fuller. I like Fuller.
Okay.
But I think Fuller is better in the slot. Outside, let's rock with St. Juice. He got the length. He got the skill set. He just needs to trust his instincts more.
I think St. Juice is going to be a dog in this league. I think he has a chance to be a Pro Bowler someday if he keeps working hard at his game. But at worst, he'd be a serviceable starter. At worst.
So I think like him going to Fuller going to the inside. So we corner, O-line.
Now
I wouldn't mind like 2 of the 3 picks being on the O-line. But those our first 2 picks, they need to be starters.
Hey, I gotta cut you off just for a second. Phil said at 16 he can see loose Musgrave. Look, Musgrave to me is possibly the 3rd best tight end in this draft, but he's up there. He's just all depends on what kind of flavor you're looking for. I know like people look at Luke Musgrave as a guy that's a tight end in a wide receiver body, but I think that he's going to be available in that 2nd round. So that would be, for me, that's a little bit high. I like Mayer from Notre Dame at 16 if he's there, but he possibly won't be there, and I don't see us going tight end at 16.
But knowing us on draft day, we'll drop back.
Yeah. Knowing us, we'll probably trade back.
We'll go from 16 to 19 or something like 16.
Right. Right. I've seen a lot of Porter Jr. being mocked to us, and I've seen a lot of Christian
These are
Gonzalez being
dogs,
mocked
but
to
those
us.
are dogs.
Yeah, yeah. I'll take either one. I'll take either one.
Those
Yeah.
are.
And Phil, he loves this Musgrave guy. I love him too, but I think he'll be available in the second round. Like, I don't see him as a first round talent. I don't see him getting drafted. I don't see more than one tight end getting drafted in
But
the
do
first
you
round.
do you feel the same way with that though? Like our first 2 picks, they need to be playing on Sundays.
Thank you. Game like starters, game changers.
Like when they announcing the starting lineup, they need to be,
They need to be in
there.
there. Right. And corner, if we get either Porter or Gonzalez, man, like, I'll be excited. I'll probably get on live and dance, okay? And I can't dance. So I'm excied getting a top tier corner.
I don't know. We definitely need to get another linebacker.
Yep. With linebacker, you can address it in free agency or you can address it in the middle of the draft. Like I feel like you can always get a solid linebacker in the 4th to 6th round or 3rd to 6th round. Like I've seen guys like Chad Muma and guys like Nick Bolton. Nick Bolton went, I think, that year in the 2nd round. Like there's been some linebackers that can play, like legit starters right now that were found between 2 to 5 range.
So how do you talk? I mean, we gonna get to your draft thing, but how do you feel about the backers that we got? Cole go?
Cole, look, if Cole wants to go, I'll pack his bag. And I know that Phil is a North Carolina guy. He loves Cole. But if Cole wants to go, I'll help him pack his bags. We need to improve the whole linebacking core as a whole. Like, I'm sorry. You can replace Cole in free agency. Like, for example, who's that kid? Edmonds. I think Edmonds plays for the Bills, right? He's a middle linebacker. Yeah. Do you rather have him or do you rather have Cole?
Oh no, we going the Edmonds route.
See, that's what I'm saying. So if you're gonna pay somebody who's been a Pro Bowler, pay somebody who is, if not elite, close to elite at his position. You know what I'm saying?
We need depth at that position. Boston gotta go. Mayo gotta go. Like,
I don't even like mayo on my sandwiches anyways.
Like like, you feel me? They out there as liabilities.
I think that's the worst position that we have is the linebacker. Like
Jamin,
he's trying.
Yo, he got to come into his hole.
He's trying.
Because right now he all talent, which isn't, you feel me? Which isn't really, bad.
Right.
But come on, bro.
Right.
This year 3 for you coming up.
Yep.
You first round. we need to see something.
It's like, okay, so everybody's saying O-line. My whole thing with O-line is if you see a better prospect at a different position than O-line, you just don't go O-line because the draft is for getting the best available prospect. That's what you do. Free agency is where you fill the hole. That's where you fill the need, right? But don't draft the O-line that should go in the 2nd round in the 1st round because I need an O-line or I need a tackle. And then now you're drafting like the 6th or 7th best tackle because you needed one. When you see prime targets at corner sitting there at Porter or Gonzalez, right? Or you see another position of need and these players are ranked higher at their position. That's all I'm saying. Draft your guys, get your guys. Just don't reach. Trade back, get the best value you can. The draft is meant for finding potential franchise guys, especially in that 1st round, right? Look at how we found our D-line. It was all through the 1st round. Sometimes they fell to us. But
give or take. I always and I'm a big believer in this. You can't go wrong with drafting anybody from Alabama.
That's true. Nowadays.
You can't.
Nowadays.
Mind you, and low key, Cam Sims got some of the best hands on the team.
I like Cam Sims, but
he might not have that whole package as a wideout, but he throw the mitts up there. He coming down with it.
I think I'm glad you brought up Cam Sims.
He ain't gonna play.
Yeah, he ain't gonna play. Yeah, Cam Sims and Dax Mill are 2 positions or 2 guys that I feel like we need to upgrade from ASAP. Now, Cam Sims, if he wants to stick around, cheap deal to round out that group, okay. But one of those 2 guys got to go. We cannot roll in with the same wide receiver group because guess what? Somebody gets hurt. I don't trust neither one. I don't trust neither one to step in and play that role.
I trust Cam over Dax. Listen, get him off the team.
Hey, funny thing is, Dax is actually Phil's cousin. Phil, I apologize
Oh,
right now for talking
my
about your cousin Dax Mills. Now I'm just joking.
Uh,
I'm just joking. I like messing with Phil.
And the only reason I say that, man, is because a person that I think that, I mean, I don't think we should have let him go, because I really felt as though he's been the best returner for us. Is DeAndre.
Okay.
Carter was that was the best. Mind you, everybody was talking this Brandon Banks stuff.
Right.
Like, you feel, remember him when he was a preseason All-American,
Yep.
preseason first teamer. Yep. He couldn't do nothing in the season. Feel me?
Look, Ron Rivera went from not wanting to pay anybody. Yeah, he didn't want to pay nobody, so he let him go. So here's a mock draft. This one is done by College Football News. And let me see who they had the Commanders select. They had the Commanders select Kelee Ringo. With all the talk about needing a quarterback, don't dismiss how promising and talented Sam Howell is. This defense needs playmakers too, and there are a slew of great corners on the board. I've heard Ringo, I've heard Porter Jr., I've heard Gonzalez. I'm sorry, I'm taking Gonzalez over this guy. What are your thoughts on Kelee Ringo?
I ain't even gonna lie to you. I do not know who that is.
I feel you. I'm still in the learning process with these draft prospects.
If Gonzalez, you feel me? Like, I know Gonzalez, I know Porter. Like, I know the top. I ain't trying to say that he's not a top dog.
Right.
But those are the two names that stick out from the rip.
Right.
Like, if one of them is there, let's match him. Let's match him up with St. Juice and let's rock out. Because in all honesty, I'm not even gonna lie to you. 1-on-1, man across the board.
Right.
I really only feel comfortable with St. Juice out there.
Yeah, I feel you.
And we got some dogs in them safeties.
Let me see what me says. I get not reaching, you're right. But taking the best available, I imagine everyone's thought will change after free agency. Yeah, most definitely. And it's kind of cool. Like, free agency comes first. You take care of all your needs that you can, and then in the draft, you kind of feel the rest of the things. And sometimes, just because you grab a guy in free agency does not mean that you don't go and grab somebody in the draft. So things are going to change. Things are always fluid between free agency and draft. So I'm excited for both of it. I got another mock draft that I want to share. I think this one is NFL.com. Just kind of cool to kind of see who the consensus and who the media is mocking us to. I always kind of like look and so this one, they got Joey Porter. Yep. Joey
Look, what
Porter.
I just say, match him up with
St. Juice. It says it right there.
You feel me? Like,
because the NFC East got some receivers. We got AJ Brown and Devontae Smith to cover. We got CeeDee Lamb, and I still feel the Cowboys are going to add another guy. The Giants, don't get it twisted. They might draft a receiver or two. So.
And I hate it, bro. Yeah. I'm from South Jersey, so all the Eagle stuff is going on right now.
Mm-hmm.
I hate it.
I feel you. I'm gonna look at one more mock draft, but yeah, just keep talking.
Nah, as a fan, I'm gonna talk so much trash about the Eagles, but as a person that love football, they got two number ones with Tay and AJ, and I hate it.
Yeah,
I hate it.
when they drafted Devontae Smith, I hated it. Anytime when my rivals draft somebody high, there's a potential that those guys. I was like, man, he's skinny. He's not gonna work. I didn't want him to work, even though I like the guy.
Bro, that's just like when the Giants got Odell. I was sick.
Right.
I'm like, now we gotta deal with him.
Exactly. For every year, twice a year, you got to deal with these guys. So this other mock draft right here, they have us selecting Broderick Jones.
No, they said we traded with the Jets.
Oh my gosh. So if we traded with the Jets, did we trade up? Hold on. Let me see, because I can't remember. I can't remember where the Jets were. So we trade up to get Christian Gonzalez. Man, I'm not making. Look, I'm sorry. I'm not trading up from 16 to 13, and then giving up additional draft.
Unless you just swap picks.
You're right.
Like, if we just swap picks, that's, you feel me? Like, that's fine.
Yeah, I'm definitely But I think I had a few other things on the show notes to talk about before we kind of end this episode. So we pretty much covered a lot already. We covered like off-season plans, the three biggest needs for the Commanders. We all agree: offensive line, We need linebackers for sure. And then obviously corner. That's in a very, very, very important position as well. We talked a little bit about the plan for free agency. We talked about players that we feel might get cut in Logan Thomas and Curtis Samuel. And then we also talked about the plan at quarterback. We also looked at some mock drafts. So we pretty much covered everything we said we was going to cover. Now, my question for you is, if you had one dream, one hope, let's say that everything that you want in the offseason doesn't pan out, right? What is the one thing that if it happened, you can say, you know what? I really don't care how the rest of our offseason goes.
Just offseason period?
Yeah, just offseason. Yeah, from free agency to trades to draft. Just one thing that you would want to happen. And if that thing happens, you're like, you know what? This is a good offseason.
That's tough.
Yeah.
That's tough because you really...
All right, I got mine. While you thinking of yours, I got mine.
What's up?
Mine is, if the Commanders get a legit tackle, I would be so happy, whether it's coming through free agency, whether it's coming through the draft. A legit tackle means a guy that can step in right away and give you top 10 production. And you
good with that?
And I'm good with that. At any of the tackle spots. So let's say, for example, we bring in the right tackle, right? Mm-hmm. That means you now move Cosme to guard, which is where he belongs. He reminds me of Brandon Sheriff, but way more athletic. Then, you know, we'll find somebody at center, and then that kind of just fixes your offensive line. Getting that right tackle, having that right guard in Cosme, and then Leno one more year at the left tackle. If this guy ends up being a left tackle, a legit left tackle, he moves to left tackle, Leno to right tackle. Every single scenario makes Cosme a right guard, which means that 3 of the 5 positions would be semi-solid. And then you still got Wes Schweitzer, who can move into left guard and be fine there. That's my dream.
We injury prone at the line, though, and that's the killer.
You still got Chris Paul. I mean, you got depth pieces now. You just need starters.
He look good. He look good against Dallas.
He look good. So all we need now is, like, we're looking for legit starters. We have the pieces that are backups. You can call Wes Schweitzer a backup. If you can upgrade from that, you do that. You go and get at least 3 new pieces on that line. You have to. If we're gonna rock with Leno one more year,
I'll rock with that. Solidify the line. I think everybody would be happy. Well, everybody would be happy with somebody that take them snaps. That's number one. I feel like as fans, that's what everybody wants to see. But yeah, the line. But let me ask you this, because I feel like we show appreciation to him, but we don't give him enough appreciation. Only, how you feel about 4, man? Heinicke, what is your...
My thought process is similar to yours. Like, I think Taylor Heinicke is a top 3, if not the best backup in the league. Taylor Heinicke for 4 games, maybe 6 games. If something happened injury-wise, I'm okay. Taylor Heinicke playing more than 6 games in a season, I'm not okay. Because then we know who Taylor Heinicke is. He can come in off the bench right now and produce a spark and produce some energy and get you a win or 2. Taylor Heinicke for longer than that, you're in trouble. So,
but the thing, we rally around him though.
We do, but here's a problem.
It's crazy because, like, literally, like, our first time seeing him was against the Bucks in the playoffs, bro. I just remember, like, I'm like, man, this kid, who is this guy? Like, then he come out balling. I'm like, yo, this guy is. But
here is the blessing and the curse with Taylor Heinicke. The blessing is it's great to have him as a backup, and he can come in and bail us out until he just can't, right? The curse is, if we go Sam Howell and this Heinicke, and let's say you bring in another vet, like a cheaper vet or a 7th round choice or whatever, if Howell starts to play bad, you're going to hear the crowd, bring in Taylor, and that's what's going to happen. So in order, if we're really going to give Sam Howell a shot, Taylor Heinicke got to go. And that's something that a lot of people don't want to hear. But the reality is, in order for us to grow as a team and go a different direction with the quarterback room, Taylor Heineke would have to go in order for Sam Howell to grow.
So as fans,
bars.
but as fans, how if we start Howe from week 1, how long we giving him realistically?
Realistically, the whole
September?
season. The whole season. You know why?
What?
If we're bad, we are in the race to draft a quarterback within the top 10. So if we're bad, then it's just the season was a wash. Ron Rivera's gone. I get it. We want to win, but we have to win the right way. If you're not bringing in a guy like a Derek Carr, which I'm not for Derek Carr anymore. I used to. Now I'm just scared.
Whoa, quick, bring it back. Why?
He needs the right offensive coordinator. What Josh McDaniels did to him last year was evil.
Okay.
I don't want another situation where you bring an offensive coordinator and you bring in a Derek Carr, just because this is the best offensive coordinator available and this is the best quarterback available, when it's not a marriage. It's not a perfect marriage. And then what happens is you have issues. Then you end up being bad, and then you still didn't play Sam Howell. You still don't know what you have in him. I'm not saying that Sam Howell is a savior or whatever. He still needs to be in a process. He still needs to be evaluated properly.
I just think that we need to, we were very hyped for that Cowboys game.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, his first pass was a touchdown. Yeah. So everybody we should have been doing this.
He needed to grow. He needed to grow. I told everybody Sam Howell was not ready week 1. He was ready week 17. There was a reason. He's been working on his craft.
So mind you, we look at that, but then we don't talk about the pick that he threw in the back of the end zone.
That was terrible.
You get what I'm saying? We want to discuss that, but we'll talk about his first pass for a tub. But if he does get the chance, I mean, realistically,
let him fight for the starting job. All I'm saying is, if we really want to assess this guy and see who he is and what he has, you got to give him a shot, right? Mm-hmm. So if you give him a shot, let's say you bring in Brissett, Andy Dalton, you bring in a few vets that you feel Sam Howell can beat, right? Mm-hmm. And if he doesn't beat these guys, then guess what? Sam Howell was never the guy, right? You roll with that vet, and then at some point, if we start losing, you bring in Sam Howell, he finishes out the year, you draft the guy next year. And if you're just so bad with Sam Howell to where you have 3 to 5 wins, you have a shot at Caleb Williams. That's all I'm saying. That's the best quarterback prospect coming out next year.
You feel me? We as fans, we ain't going for that. Because we, in all honesty, think and know that we're that one piece away.
Yeah.
Because of who we have, not one piece, a couple pieces away. But more importantly, if we get that right guy that's taking the lead, we should be good.
Right. Yeah, it's just we are in a weird situation. All I'm saying is that a lot of things need to shake in order for us to kind of, yes, we have a championship caliber defense. I believe we do. With Jack Del Rio stepping up his game, we have a championship caliber defense. Offensively, we have great weapons. That just keeps getting better. Yeah, great weapons. So if we retool and rebuild this line, let's just say that we just stick with what everybody's been saying, offensive line, and we draft 3. Our first 3 picks is guard, tackle, center, whatever. Offensive line is done. It's complete, right? You rock with what you have, and then you see, even if you bring in a vet, right? Derek Carr has a no trade clause. If he wants to come here, guess what? We better be a playoff team.
So earlier today, the Raiders is allowing him to speak with teams. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But it's the same type of deal that Deshaun was on last year.
Yeah. And he's talking about he's not going to move his little trade thing back. So he needs to be moved by the 15th. If not, the Raiders pay him. Mm-hmm. So he will be moved.
It's going to be interesting. So we haven't talked about this, but I feel like we're on the same. Carson's out of there.
Yeah, Carson's gone. He's been gone. He was gone yesterday. Yeah, Carson was gone yesterday. No, notice we never mentioned it, but yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Mind you, I just wanted to, because look, I didn't get a chance to see Carson the first month.
Okay.
I was away at the Army. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you didn't miss nothing. You didn't miss nothing.
I know week 1 he won. So the first game that I got a chance to actually tune in for the season is when we played the Titans. Mm-hmm. You know how that ended.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
yeah. Yeah, we need a quarterback, man. And all I'm saying is, I just don't see a scenario where we get the guy that we want. Now, if Aaron Rodgers wants to come here, which he doesn't, but if he does,
man, we
if
wishing
Aaron
on the star.
Rodgers,
we wishing on the star.
No, I'm just saying, if Aaron Rodgers comes, that's the best option. But that's not an option. You see what I'm saying?
If he comes, get me back on hit.
Yeah, if he comes, we're going to the Super Bowl. I'm saying it right now, but he's not coming here. Like, if we get a quarterback that's legit, even as old as Aaron Rodgers is, if you get a quarterback of Aaron Rodgers' caliber, even the old man Tom Brady, any one of them two guys, they're the best available, not available quarterbacks right now. Derek Carr is a tier under those guys. And outside of Derek Carr, the next tier is Jimmy G. Outside of one of those four guys, there's no quarterback coming here that's going to help us to get to where we want to go.
But we need that quarterback to take. So as much as, mind you, we ain't talking about this, but I hate talking about the past. But Kirk, I love Kirk.
Kirk was great. I love Kirk.
Kirk didn't get us over that hump.
He did. And if we bring in a guy like Derek Carr, it's going to be the exact same thing. I'm telling you. Look.
That's tough.
All I'm saying is, you can think one way, the other way. It's all good. We all have our opinions. All I'm saying is, for me, I don't see that guy in this offseason plan. I don't see it. I'm hoping that guy is around, but I just don't see it. Now, if you look at the draft, we're almost out of time. If you look at the draft, there's even some guys, maybe 2 or 3 guys that I feel could be something, but then that's wishing. That's a hope. That's a wish. Richardson has upside, but he's a project. He's going to be a guy that you have to develop for 2 years. When I told everybody you have to develop Malik Willis for 2 years, they laughed. Oh, Malik Willis, pro day. Did you see that pass? It's beautiful.
Pause. Let's just nip that in the bud right now with the pro day stuff. Bro, you out there throwing on air, that's number 1.
Yep.
Number 2, you don't got no equipment on. Number 3, it ain't no type of defense.
Exactly.
Bro, I could look like Malik Willis out there.
Right.
But I can't throw the ball more than 30 yards.
But you see the hype that comes in after pro day. Senior Bowl right now, there's doing some things. It's practice. There's all these different guys getting all these hype. In this draft, I don't see anybody who can come in right away, lead a team to the playoffs. I love CJ. I love Bryce. But even
we ain't gonna get him.
Yeah, we're not. And those are the 2 of the best. And then Will Levis has the upside. I don't like him. He has the upside.
He can spin the rock.
Yeah. He has the upside of what the NFL is looking for that prototypical type quarterback. They're saying Josh Allen, whatever. Hey, there's a reason why they get paid the big money, and I don't. But on that note, man, this has been a great episode. Appreciate you for coming on, man. Tell the people where they can find you.
Oh, bro. So, my Twitter is at Enrich We Trust. That's really the only social media. I got the gram too, Rich702. But that's really about it. But yo, we definitely gonna tap in, man.
Right, most definitely.
I like this. This is my first time ever really doing this. So it's definitely something. Support my boy Manny. We linked up on Twitter. That's really about it, man. I'm looking forward to all the future pods. Hopefully we can do this again real soon with more heads.
Absolutely.
I definitely love this conversation with you.
Absolutely, man. Next time you come on, you'll come on with a few more guys.
I like that. Let me know.
I got you, man. So once again, guys, this is the Talking Sports with Manny YouTube channel live. And also, this is the Talking Commanders with Manny podcast. I'm going to catch you guys on that next episode. I'm out. Peace.
My boy.